Hey everyone, how you doing? IntoWeapons back again with you. Super excited to do this video with you. Got a call from my FFL dealer yesterday in town, and he notified me that a package came in from Pete over at theArmoryChannel. As some of you know, he was gracious enough to do a shout out for me, so I know a lot of my new subscribers are from ArmoryChannel. Pete's a great guy. I'll throw the link to his channel in the bottom of the description there if you're not already subbed, which are crazy if you're not. Definitely jump out there and do that. He's a wealth of knowledge and a great guy, so definitely check out his channel. The guy was so great, in fact, that there was a little bit of money left over from the shipping and handling, and he sent me through 5 canisters of this ballistol. And I've been reading about this, hearing about this on the YouTube channels, and never really had a chance to buy it and try it out. Doesn't seem like any of my local dealers or suppliers carry this stuff, so I'm anxious to try that out. Thanks a lot, Pete. That was awesome. Overall, thanks a lot, man, for the whole package. I was really appreciative of being able to get this rifle from you. Many of my old subscribers know that I was looking for this gun for a long time. I noticed that they did come out with a second run of manufacture of these through Arsenal. Wanted to buy one, just didn't have the money in line to do it, and then they stopped making them by the time I had the money available. I went to buy one and they weren't to be found anywhere. So when the market conditions hit like they are now because of the recent political things going on, I was almost guaranteed I was never going to see one of these rifles again. So thanks, Pete. This is awesome. I really wanted this gun. I needed it in my collection, and it's truly appreciated. So what I thought I'd do here today, guys, is kind of go over what I got and get it out to the range as soon as possible. I'll do another follow-up video with it at the range, and stay tuned for that. But ultimately, we'll just kind of go through what we got. Like I said, I got the 5 bottles of ballistol. That'll be kind of cool to try out. It does ship normally standard with a 10-round magazine, but I noticed this one has a little thing in there that says +5, so I don't know if this is a 5-round magazine. Maybe that came stock with it. But he did include a couple Bulgarian 30-round polymer magazines, which are awesome. And I got a little bit more information on that. I did a little bit of research on the gun a while back and have a list, so I'll kind of get into what these are and how they're made, etc. a little bit later in the video. It does come stock with the notorious AK oil bottle. That's pretty standard, nothing extraordinary about that. I don't think anyone really uses them. Pete did do a little bit of upgrades to his. What he had done is replaced the top rail, which included a scope mount down here, by Parabellum Ornament, or ACARS, AKRS. I'm not really familiar with that much with this company, but it seems like what he put on here is definitely a quality upgrade. It removes the rear sight here and replaces all of that with its own rear sight. It includes a rail, and then it replaces the dust cover. Now the dust cover does have the stamp number on there. All the parts on the SLR-101s is matching, so you won't have any kind of mismatched parts on these guns unless someone did something to it otherwise. The rear sight he did send along since he replaced that, so that's awesome to have the original, as well as the original handguard. He did put an upgraded handguard on the front, and I apologize, I don't know who made this handguard, so if someone maybe knows or wants to throw that out there, that would be interesting to know. But overall, I like the upper handguard. I might remove the upper rail here, as I don't think I'll ever use that far forward of a rail. And it kind of misaligns the rear sight here. It kind of shows into that sight picture, so I'll get rid of that probably. We have the original manual here, which is awesome. A lot of times when you buy used guns, people don't keep these things, so that's awesome. He definitely kept it. It certainly doesn't hurt. And then it does originally come with a green 2-point sling here, but it looked like Pete had upgraded to a PMAG, a Magpul 2-point sling, which is obviously of much better quality. So he had that strapped on there. It looked real nice. And then obviously we have the Bulgarian SLR-101s. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know about this weapon. It is truly a phenomenal rifle. You really can't get much better for an AK-47. It comes with all of the bells and whistles that you would ever need, and ultimately, in my opinion, one of the best AK-47s on the market. So what I'll do, guys, is break it down here for you real quick. I'll clean off the spot here, and we'll take a closer look at some of these parts and pieces, and I'll give you a little bit of background on the rifle. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do here is kind of give you an idea of why I really wanted one of these guns, or this particular variant. Starting with that it's a milled receiver. You don't really see a whole lot of milled receivers on the markets anymore. Most of them are stamped, and that's just because it's easier to produce those. To give you an idea, the milled receiver alone, when they're made in Bulgaria at Arsenal, it takes them about 5.5 hours each just to mill that out. So, and that's just the milling process. That doesn't even include the forging process of the blank that they're working with. So that was a huge thing that I really wanted to have, was a milled receiver in the collection. The second thing that I was really looking for was a side scope mount. A lot of the AKs that you receive won't have that already installed on it, and if you don't have it already installed, it's not cheap to have one put on and have it actually work and be a good quality piece on the side of your AK-47. So that was a huge part that I definitely was happy to have on there. The third thing that I really liked about these was that it's a chrome line barrel and a chrome line chamber, and that's a huge plus if you're shooting a lot of ammunition that might be dirtier than others. It really helps if you don't clean it and it just kind of sits around a lot, which many of you know isn't the case for my collection. Generally I clean them after every use. So but that's definitely a huge benefit to these guns, because it really holds up a lot longer than standard non-chrome line barrels. Overall, again, that's pretty much the main reasons for wanting this gun. There is another cosmetic reason, being that it does come with the T-bar here, which is for the bayonet lug. That is more of a cosmetic feature, but you never really see too many guns coming into the country or being released that have that bayonet lug available on it, because they grind those down. So that was kind of cool. I really like that. But overall, this piece is really one quality piece, solid AK, and for the price point you really can't beat it. You can buy very similar AKs that are on the market that can run $2,000–$3,000 and really have everything or not as many features as this particular gun. So just taking a closer look at it, we'll remove the magazine here, break it down a little bit for you guys. He has the replacement dust cover on here, which actually works a little bit easier than the standard dust cover, just being that you can tip it up instead of having to remove it fully. The rear piece does come right off. It's able to allow you to keep your optics on this rail without having to remove it and re-zero it every time, so that's a really neat feature. The spring itself removes just like a standard AK, as you can see there. The bolt will remove the piston and the bolt assembly, and you can see that it is numbered 0501 there, which matches the serial number. Real quality piece. Everything is here is hammer forged, and it's one quality solid piece. The bolt carrier is hammer forged, as well as the bolt itself, and this thing is a real solid quality piece. It's got the number here 0501, again matching numbers. Looking inside here, you can kind of see the trigger group. The trigger assembly is a mixture of Bulgarian and US parts, most of it being Bulgarian parts, but a lot of the trigger assembly, including the hammer, is hammer forged again, so it's just more solid, sturdier build than you'll find in standard AKs. We'll remove the front top handguard here. And you'll notice with this gun is everything is a tight finish, or a tight fit. Nothing is loose, nothing rattles around. Everything just goes in nice and solid. And again, you'll notice that everything is pretty nice on there. He did replace the upper handguard, and I don't see any numbers identifying it on this one, but sometimes they don't mark those anymore on these newer models, so that doesn't surprise me. And then one thing you'll notice is, being that this is a polymer handguard, is that it does have a stainless steel heat shield on the inside here, which allows the heat from the barrel here not to affect that handguard and allow it to be used a lot longer without burning that up, which I know a lot of people don't like polymer handguards because of that. And then going towards the front, it's got that front post sight. Thankfully Pete had already sighted this in. I believe he had a hell of a day at the range trying to get this in. I think he said he put through close to 100 rounds or something like that to get this thing sighted in, so saved me a little bit of hassle there, that's for sure. And it does have the Bulgarian muzzle brake on there as well. It is only a brake for reducing climb, muzzle climb. It doesn't really do much for muzzle flash. So that's pretty much the breakdown of the gun, guys. Just some information if you're really interested. I'll just kind of read through some of the notes that I have on this gun. It is MSRP about $1,049. That was when it was actually being released. You could find them. Now that they're not around, you could find these close to $2,000 mark. So it really depends, especially with the market conditions, on if you are able to find them, how much you're going to pay. The artillery arsenal, which was founded in 1878 in Bulgaria, was used throughout all those years. Changed names throughout history a few times, especially around World War II, but it was designated Factory 10, which I think a lot of people are more familiar with, being that a lot of these parts and pieces are stamped 10. Was founded or changed that name in 1948. Today the company is known as the Arsenal Corporation, which we are familiar with, and that's located in Sofia, Bulgaria. It is manufactured in Bulgaria, as I mentioned, by the Arsenal company, but it is remanufactured to a configuration that meets the BATFE regulations by Arsenal in Las Vegas, so it is imported by them. SLR stands for self-loading rifle. 101 indicates that the rifle was first introduced in Bulgaria in 2001. The S identifies the rifle as being equipped with a Warsaw Pact scope barrel, which we kind of talked about earlier, being the side here. It is 922R compliant. It's met when 6 of the following components for stamped receiver semi-auto case and only 5 for machined receiver weapons, which is kind of unusual for those kinds of regulations. But the complete U.S. parts list for SLR-101s consists of the following: the polymer butt stack, the polymer pistol grip, the polymer upper and lower handguards. As long as those are U.S. made, you'll be all set if you switch them out. The hammer and the disconnector in that trigger assembly. I mentioned that some of those parts are U.S. made. The 10-round magazine body and the magazine follower and magazine follower and the magazine body and retaining plate. Although the SLR-101s is shipped with a U.S.-made 10-round magazine, the rifle itself has enough U.S.-made components to allow use of foreign-made magazines, which is why you're able to use these the Bulgarian magazines instead of another U.S.-made one. The overall length is 36.5 inches. Barrel length is 16.3 inches. The black polymer buttstock is 10 inches in length, which is the NATO length, and provides an overall pull. If you can see there, it's got an overall pull of 13.4 inches. The buttstock also includes a cleaning kit in the back of it, which a lot of you are familiar with on the SKSs. And it's got the cleaning kit in there. I didn't take that out. And that's a little bit unusual. It's not original to this model. The total weight is 8 pounds, which is approximately 11 ounces heavier than a stamped counterpart, to give you an idea. 3.3 inch long dished out lightning cut on each side, and that's a good identifier of if you have a milled receiver or if you're looking at a milled receiver. Generally you'll have these notches cut out, which really the only effect of that is to reduce the weight of it. With a stamp you'll just have the little dimples here, which really holds the magazine in there a little bit easier. And one thing I'll show you with this, guys, is when you do have the magazine in here, you'll notice with a stamped gun, you'll have a little bit of wiggle here, or what they call mag wobble. With this milled receiver, you have really none of that whatsoever. And the reason for that is because there's a lot more metal connecting along here where the magazine rests in the mag well. So that's kind of an interesting feature of having a milled receiver that is definitely beneficial in the event that you're running around, etc. with the gun. Let's see what else we got here. Right hand twist of 1 turn in 9.45 inches or 240 millimeters. Muzzle velocity of 710 meters per second. The barrel is made in Bulgaria and is hammer forged by means of the Austrian Steyr technology. It has a hard chrome lined chamber and bore, like I mentioned. Receiver is forged and machine finished, and like I said, it takes about 5.5 hours alone just to have that this receiver milled out. So it's not an easy process. The resulting byproduct of having a milled receiver is the fact that it's more rigid and solid than the stamped sheet metal version. So the stamped and pin sheet metal receivers typically twist and torque during the recoil cycle, which can definitely seriously compromise the rifle's accuracy potential. The other benefit of having a heavier milled receiver is that it will reduce the recoil of the felt, or the felt recoil I should say, of the 7.62 by 3.9 cartridge, just from the sheer weight difference alone. The other drop forge components, besides the receiver itself, includes the barrel, the trigger, and bolt carrier, or the bolt carrier and bolt head. So there's a lot of other quality parts in there, like I discussed as we took it apart. The exterior finish is black baked enamel over phosphate with a satin appearance. That's, you know, a typical finish for these types of AK-47s. You don't really see a high gloss or anything on these. They just really kind of keep them a straight satin finish type. The black polymer upper and lower handguards are like the Russian AK-100 series. They are mil-spec, and the lower handguard has that stainless steel heat shield in it like I've shown you. The trigger system was designed by Arsenal themselves and is a two-stage similar to the Romanian PSL, which I do have in the collection, and it's an awesome trigger pull if you guys have ever experienced it. It does have a crisp 3.5 pound trigger pull with this particular G2 trigger. I'm sorry, two-stage trigger. The trigger mechanism does contain the US-made hammer and disconnector. It does have a standard 14 by 1 millimeter left-hand thread and is hard chrome lined, so you're able to you know, remove this and put on most standard AK muzzle brakes that you can find. Of course, I think you'd want it to be, you know, actually, I believe that since this is Bulgarian, you wouldn't have to switch out to a standard US part, but you know, you might want to make sure that when you're doing that, that's 922R compliant still. I don't have any legal advice for you on that. The inverted T-shaped bayonet lug under the barrel can also be used to install a bayonet, like I mentioned, or even an under-barrel grenade launcher, which I don't think we have a whole lot of in the United States. But you can also attach additional accessories such as light and lasers. A lot of those are coming now with those bayonet lug style adaptions. It has the modern 90-degree gas block and gas tube. This permits the gas piston to block the vent holes when the piston is fully forward. Instead of these holes being here on the front of the gas tube, they actually have them on the gas block itself, and so when the piston rides forward, it covers those holes, which reduces any kind of dirt getting into those or that gas area, which is really nice. It's a really nice upgrade and should be really standard on all AK-47s. I don't really know why they don't. And like I said, it comes with that US-made 5-round magazine, but does accept all the standard AK magazines, most notably these Bulgarian 30 rounds that are marked with the 10 double circle, signifying the Arsenal factory. These are translucent fiberglass reinforced thermoplastic. Its designation indicates that it can be injection molded polyamide epoxy based resin with a waffle pattern to add further structural rigidity. Injection molded polyamides are super industrial strength synthetics, well known for the resistance to high temperatures, corrosion, wear, chemicals, and radiation. They're lighter than steel. They have a higher tensile strength than aluminum. So kind of interesting. You get these polymer magazines and you think they're junk, but actually there's a lot of thought that go into these, and like it said, it has a higher tensile strength than aluminum itself. So very durable, solid AK magazines, that's for sure. And that's pretty much it, guys. Overall, a great weapon here. If you want, I'll go ahead and put this guy back together for you. I'm really excited to have this gun in the collection. I've been wanting to get one of these for a long time, like I mentioned. It's just ultimately a great piece to have if you can find one. I saw one at a gun show just soon after all of the shit hit the fan with the local market and everything, and they wanted, I think, $1,200 for it. So at that time, they didn't realize what they had, I think, and I'm sure if you would find it on the shelves now, it would probably be quite a bit more expensive. But if you are able to find one, these are really considered heirloom quality pieces that you can pass down from generation to generation, and they will last for years and years without any real type of maintenance. You can really run these into the ground and not really have any effect whatsoever. So overall, guys, an excellent piece for the collection. I'm really excited to have it in the collection. And I hope you stay tuned for a range report on some of the shooting of this firearm. So that's pretty much it, guys. Until next time, I appreciate you watching, and take it easy.